Nothing. It's all right.
Mhm. Yeah, gotta get on that one. Let's see here. Let's see here.
Grand Awakening, Mr. Bean.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning. How we doing?
Good morning. Oh my. Woo, it was tough yesterday.
Good thing God gave us another day, huh?
Yes, it was tough yesterday. Ooh, but we had a small win, so
Hey, that's better than no wins, right?
yeah. Negotiation. I'm definitely learning that art for sure.
There you go.
Thank you for making me co-host. Um, whew,
Let's see here.
almost missed this call today. That's
No,
how
you
yesterday
did.
was.
No, you did. You ain't missing no calls. I don't care what happened. You getting it in. You gonna show up.
Oh man, I woke up at 8:05 Eastern time. I was like,
He thought you was late.
yes, yes. So thank you for praying for us because we
Yeah.
need it.
Yes, ma'am. Always, always, always and forever.
Ooh, Evans is here. Ooh,
Yep, he's back.
yes. Good morning. Get my face on, then I'll jump on camera.
Oh, good. What's going on, Evans? Good morning. Good morning. Or good afternoon for you. Let's see here.
Good morning. Good morning. Who else is in the room? Okay, make sure I got the right book. Tell me I have something to write with. A pencil.
Hi, Mr. Earl. Hi, Carla.
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Sabrina. Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's so good to see everybody. My build family.
That's what I'm talking about. That extended family, boy, I tell you, it does a lot for people. More and more
Oh
people.
yes.
Some of the best therapy in the world.
Yep. Oh, Mr. B, when am I supposed to get with Omi so that I can help back her up?
Actually, we're gonna get with her and a couple people actually. So get some things going on. But yeah, we'll I'll let you guys know.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Let's see here. And it is 8 o'clock on the dot, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, for those of you who haven't done so already, go ahead and make sure you are sending out your text messages to your team members and letting them know that we are hot. We are on live. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put that in the chat real quick. Let's see here. Make sure everybody know we are in the place to be.
It's a standing calendar appointment that I share with my group.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? We actually have that the calendar that Omi created. We put it in the group the other day.
Hey, Mr. Bean, quick question for you. Is it okay to invite the A word, someone who's going to be
Yeah.
coming aboard? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what get them. That's what get them on to the B word.
That's what I.
the builder
Yeah.
pack.
I love it.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Cool. That's what I figured, but I just want to make sure.
hey, don't be. And next time, don't be setting me up for jokes like that, bro.
No, that was a good one, bro.
Hey, the women were like, hold on, where you going with that? Hold on. Oh, let's
Good
see.
morning. Good morning. Oh my, that's good.
There we go. All right.
Right.
Oh,
Hey, we got the X word too.
Ooh, love it.
exactly. That's Zeta.
Zeta. But I can't get that confused with the Z word.
Right, right.
They sound exactly the same. All right, all right.
Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. So this is what we do every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time with no fail. And we're gonna go ahead and get this show on the road. And you know what we do. We're gonna start off with the reflections, and then we'll go into some communications, some training, some updates, and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and get started with Sabrina Tomlin. Give us what you got.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Bean, for allowing me to speak this morning. I was waiting for Carla to put her hand up, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. She was still getting herself together. I'm gonna do it.
Gotcha.
But I do have a win this week. It's huge for me. It may not be huge for other people. But on our leadership call the other day, Mr. Bean challenged me to do a video live on Facebook. And guess who did it? I did it. I sounded crazy, especially to me. I don't know about anyone else, but I did it and I'm proud of myself. After about 4 or 5 takes, I still did it. So don't know how it sounded to anybody else, but I did it. So I checked the box. I was, next time I'll be a little bit better.
That's such a big win, and you know what? You sound great to everybody actually, because you gave the disclaimer. Y'all know I don't do this. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is my first time on, and they remember what their first time was, and so it's always forgiveness. And so you get to say that a couple different times. So you guys, I'm just getting comfortable with this thing. It's my second time on. It's my third time on, guys. Hey, look, bear with me. And so you just keep on making sure they understand. So somebody who's been around for a while, who never met you before, like, man, but no, just let them know. That should get out of jail free card. I know, but do that. I'm telling you, because when you do that, that's what the internet is looking for right now. That's what the algorithms are looking for. All the static stuff is one thing. People glance over that stuff and it don't get a lot of push from the social media sites. It's the videos that does it. And so the more uncomfortable you are, that's fine. One day you'll get comfortable doing it. Not saying you'll get great at it, but at least you'll get comfortable at it. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing that you can promise, and you don't really care, how great it is. You just want to make sure you get the message out, because the message will hit the right person's ears, right? And so that's the only thing you worried about. And so I'm proud of you. That's a big win for everybody. So there you go. All right, Carla.
Good morning. Good morning. So my win this week is learning the art of negotiation. I'm up in New York with my parents this weekend, and we had to deal with some business with my dad. And oh my God, my brother, my dad, myself, the attorney, the bankers, but we got a small win. He did something that we were able to get him to a point where he was able to be willing to do something that needed to be done. So that is huge for me this week. And also, I'm also grateful and thankful to be able to have hosted the Tuesday evening business showcase and introduce Ms. Laura again. And that was also a huge win for me earlier this week. So things are coming along. Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
No problem. No problem. And remember, everything you learn in business, guys, you should be able to use it in life. And so because it all parallels. It just doesn't hit you over here in one place and then you can't use it in another. I find myself all the time being able to use everything that I've learned over the years to in every area of my life, and put it like that. And so it's not just to make money, it's to make a difference. So keep on growing, keep on growing, keep on growing. And so I'm excited about that. So yeah, we talked about the parents and everything else, and I'm happy that you guys are able to get them to budge. All right. Laura from the block. Good morning.
Great morning, family. Number one, I'm going to be obedient to the restriction to be within 60 to 90 seconds. That's what I'm going to do. Huge wins this week. I got two bills. I've submitted them for consultations. That's exciting because for a couple of weeks I hadn't gotten any. And so that was huge for me. I'm speaking to an individual who actually called me up to ask me about solar. So that's to speak to Miss Sabrina. I had dropped a seed on them some time ago, and here they are calling. So keep seeding the ground. The plants will grow. And then finally, the last thing is that I'm going to be doing a presentation call for my team tonight, because I've challenged individuals to work with me directly to go build a 500. And 3 people have raised their hand to get that done. So I'm excited about that because it makes me move in a different way. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to share.
It does. And I'm going to tell you, getting commitments from your team will force you to do things that you would normally talk yourself out of as well. So again, if you put it on the calendar, you can't procrastinate, because even if they don't show up, you must. Yeah, as the leader, as the presenter, as the speaker, as the trainer, if you put it on your calendar and you got people who are going to show up, you can't be the one that miss it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, that's why I tell y'all, if you want to be a leader, you want to grow up fast, go book out your calendar. But book it out around everybody else. Don't just go put circles on there saying, "Hey, look, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do an event this day. I'm gonna do a presentation this day. I'm gonna do a one-on-one this day. I'm gonna do a one-on-one this day. I'm gonna do a sit down this day." No, you're not. No. Now you say, "Hey, Carla, what days are you available for me to do a one-on-one with you, or do a presentation for you on?" And Carla said, "Oh, well, I got Tuesday night." So, okay, well, great. All right, let's do Tuesday night. And now you put it on your calendar. Ain't nothing you can do but show up. Now you got to prepare. And then guess what you might do? You might actually invite some people for yourself as well. And you're going to also promote for people on the team. So keep your calendar full with stuff for other people. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't learned nothing today, learn that. Keep your calendar full for stuff for other people, because you have to show up when your name is on somebody else's calendar. Right. And so that's hot. Congratulations on the 2 deals, by the way. Like I said, continue to again, advertise what you actually market, what you sell, rather. And them deals, the more and more you get those deals come through, the more and more, even regardless of what happens to the deal, just getting the deal on the books or getting the appointment on the books is still momentum. It's still something that you can build on top of. It's still something that gets you excited. It's still a win. Yeah. And so continue to get those that follow up and follow through, to actually help you, get those deals to the table, because it's timing for some people. And then and some people just want to see your commitment or need your commitment. All right. Good deal. Appreciate you. Thomas Watson. Mr. Waterman.
Yes, sir. Good morning, team. Good morning. I tell you what, man, I'm so excited this morning. Got on the scale just said how the concepts you learn in business, how you can apply to every area of your life. Got on the scale this morning, down 26 pounds from the first of the year. Mr. Bean's in one of my groups, so he kind of sees the post. But the most thing that I'm really excited about with my health is I'm down 30 inches, not just the 25 pounds, because the scale can be evil sometimes. It goes up and down, blah, blah, blah. Try not to get too fixated on it. But to see the inches, 30 inches gone, man, pants falling off my rear end, and you know, just really being consistent, guys. Just really being consistent with my health, what I eat, exercise. Exercise might not have been so consistent because of an injury, but just losing the weight and feeling better about health because
Mhm.
it's good to make money and to have businesses, but if we don't have our health, then we really don't have anything. So I just wanted to share that, guys. I did get two bills this week, electric bills this week. Got a couple of appointments next week set up already, and man, just excited about the health, excited about the business. Back to you, Mr. Bean.
There you go. Health is wealth. You know, like I said, that's one thing you hear about it all the time. Rich man dies, wealthy woman dies, and it's like, man, and first thing go to your head was that somebody in their family gonna be lucky. Somebody like it's like you just forget, like just like now it goes to the money. Yeah. And so, but no, if you got that money and you got that health, you got these people walking around here with millions of dollars and they looking good, feeling good, and they moving well, sleeping well. They are truly wealthy. That really is, real wealth. You know what I'm saying? That health wise, having years on your life, man, keeping you around here, it gives you a chance, for everything. So again, that's good stuff. And congratulations on the Bills as well. And that's our official water guy for Atlanta when we have our Atlanta event. So hey,
I
matter of
got
fact,
it.
you know what happened last time? I might have to put a challenge to you because I might need you to get another 5-gallon drum because they went through their water so fast last time, man. It was probably I might need you to bring a couple. I think it was Jim. I think Jim drank all your water at the last Atlanta event, if I'm not mistaken. So awesome. All right, Del Boudreaux.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing this morning, man? It's a fantastic morning. This week was just absolutely fantastic. First of all, I'm just so appreciative of the leadership because it put me in a position this week to be able to help a team member with their situation. I mean, my buddy, man, he's in the hospital,
Mhm.
incapacitated for 2 weeks. He knows nothing about what's going on in the moment, and nor should he.
Mhm.
But because of our leadership, Mr. Bean put me in a position to be able to help him. So, we got him a Zeta box, okay, to help him and his family.
Mhm.
And secondly, that leadership call, y'all, I mean, you're talking about putting people at a mover's advantage. One phone call to Mr. Bean completely turned my whole Zeta business into a metropolis now. You know what I mean? Just one suggestion. And that's from just keeping in contact with him, staying plugged in, following the system. So those are big wins for me this week. And I appreciate it, Mr. Bean. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. And I'm gonna tell you, yes, things happen to people, and you don't see them coming. You can't predict health situations. And so when things happen to you, uh, that's why people always say if you stay ready, never get ready, you always have your affairs in order. This is why, people need to build, they need to build residual income right away. So when things actually happen, they'll have something taking care of them and their families, through those challenging times. Right. And so the other thing is this, like Dale said, getting him a box, one, it's, he got him a box out of the kind of his own heart. But again, you got the tokens that come with that. And then, like I said, if he doesn't recover 100%, right? But the tokens value up and power up, the way that we think that they are going to do. That be now Dell becomes a whole entirely different type of blessing, to that family. And so, guys, again, that's you do the business, guys, to build the people. You don't use the people to build your business. And so we say that all the time. But yeah, that the Zeta thing, we're gonna talk about that real good today and have a little bit of Q&A today. But y'all know about the tour that's happening. It's about to go down next week. Okay, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens from your business deal. I know this is right up your alley, boy. Being an engineer, this is about to light up like the 4th of July for you. Yeah. All right, Mr. Meadows.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning,
So
sir.
going on the theme of reflections versus wins, although I had a little bit of both. So the Tuesday call with Mr. Navarro on Zeta was awesome. I think that set the week off really well. A lot of good information every time I'm hearing about it, and just gaining more knowledge about what we have in our hands, and really excited about that. But my power outage on Monday, that's the reflection of the week. We don't typically have 8 to 12 hour power outages, but for some reason this week, oh yeah, Denver was our whole area was out all day. I left for work, came back home to darkness. In my mind, I knew my house should have been lit up like a beacon on the hill, but it wasn't, because XL has not flipped that switch yet. So in that frustration, though, I see a dark neighborhood for 8 hours. So I got some marketing to do, man. I got a whole neighborhood sitting out here in dark during an 8 hour power outage. So we got some stuff to talk about with my neighbors. So that's my reflection, man. Can't wait.
There you go. Catch it while they still hot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, right now, while they still fuming about it, while they still upset about it, while they still on the spirit, before they forget about it, this is the time to go door knocking right now, bro. Because you can hit every door for as long as you can walk, because you know that you didn't see any light in that area at all. So I mean that all of the lights is off, which means that they all have something to talk about. And so
Yeah.
no more blackouts should be at the top of your flyer. No more blackouts. So
No more blackouts.
there you go.
Yes,
So
sir.
you got your challenge, you know what I'm saying? And so going back to Mr. Navarro's event on Wednesday, was it Wednesday? Yeah, I was excited about his event because he showed everybody exactly why you needed Zeta. You know what I'm saying? Exactly why. Like, man, it couldn't have happened any better than that. I'm just happy that I already knew what he was talking about. But that right there let everybody know you need high powered internet, Wi-Fi router speed, all that good stuff. So you can't have a guest coming over to your house to do an event and we can't get any reception for your guests. What kind of guest are you? What kind of host are you? So that person has to have Zeta. You know what I'm saying? They gotta have. I know they get in the box right away. So, so look at that. I'm telling you, that's what happens, because you see stuff all the time. We were me, Thomas, Bill, Thomas's guest, Sabrina. We were on the call that I was doing, and everything went bananas and went haywire. And so, yeah, when the internet goes down, people don't understand how much their life is dependent on the internet, especially when they're working from home. I'm telling you, you have no idea. Without the internet in our house, we can't even use our phones. So we literally have to drive to an area where we have reception. That's how bad this area is that we live in. So, yeah, Zeta has changed my life, and we'll talk about that in just a second. All right. Last but not least, Vic.
Good morning, Mr. Bean. Good morning, everyone. My wins for the week is just out there. Decided to start doing some door knocking in my small town, and been met with some obstacles. But it was kind of funny that doing door knocking will really strengthen your mindset and give you that courage to move forward. I think it's. Can you hear me, Mr. Bean?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. No, I thought you could.
My wife was talking to me. My boss called me while I was on the phone. My bad.
Okay. So basically, I've met the challenge. I've always wanted to do door knocking, but I think that in your mind, when you first start doing that, it's like you knocking on a stranger's door, and you don't know what you're going to be met with. So I've kind of gotten that out of my mind. It's like, you know what, you never know. Like I actually had one lady offer me a cupcake, so that was pretty cool. Didn't collect a bill right away, but I did get a couple, hey, can you leave me some information, or can you come back at another time when my husband is home, and things of that nature. So it's okay. I'm building a relationship in the neighborhood, because what happens is that if you get one solar deal in the neighborhood, you're going to get another one. The neighbors always interact with each other for the most part in a small town community like where I live at. And also I have Earl on the line. who I met about a week ago, and he's in a situation where he had been looking for an opportunity. We met the other day for a one-on-one and explained to him that if as long as you plug in and if you're serious about making some changes in your situation, then I have the perfect opportunity for you because of all of our all the things we have access to for the Home Essentials Good product. So I wanted to welcome Earl, and that was my reflection for the week, Mr. Bean. And I also, of course, just want to thank you for always just being in my corner, man. You're like my cut man, my coach, and always. And I know you're praying for us too, brother. So I just want to tell you so much that I really appreciate you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, one, the courage that it takes to actually go knock a door separates you from a lot of people. You're a different type of human being. That's one thing. Again, guys, it's like cold calling or door knocking is just one of those things that people always create this movie in their head, and that's why and it's a movie that never gets played out on the big screen. But when you go and knock on that door, you do realize that things are a little bit different. Now, there are some horror scenes that happen at doors, but that's far and few in between. That's far and few in between. There are a lot more good people behind doors than bad people, right? And so, as a matter of fact, there's not that many bad people. They just move from house to house real fast, before you get there. But this is the thing: when you look at that just getting it done, just knocking on the door and just going through the experience. Now, once you go through the experience, you get to grow through the experience. Just to reflect, what could I have said different? What could I have done different? But more importantly, how proud you should be of yourself just for doing it. You know what I'm saying? Man, I got that thing that was on my bucket list. This is on my business bucket list, man. I knocked on the door. Let me go ahead and knock on another one. It's just now all of a sudden, every time you knock on the door, the fear goes away. Every time you knock on the door, the discomfort goes away. Every time you knock on the door, the confidence grows, but your skill set grows as well. And now I'm just keep on knocking on doors. I'm gonna tell you, just keep on knocking on doors. I have people who, like one of the guys knocked on my door the other day, young guy. I'm turning every one of those conversations into a conversation because pest control guy, right? So he's talking about pest control. I got a pest control person I've been with for 9 years. I'm not going to leave him, but I appreciate you knocking. But, let's, are you open to opportunities? Yeah, because if you're knocking on doors, I can increase the value of every door you knock on. Right. And so we talk about exponentially. And so I'm always having different conversations with people. I'm always getting phone numbers and follow-ups when, I have a meeting with that young man next Monday, before he actually knocks his first door. So we're going to sit down and have a conversation about what we have. And I just sent him some things that we got going on right now, and that he may have some interest in based on the information I took at the door. So, you never know. Like I said, people, you might not be able to help the person who opened the door, but they may be able to help you. They may be able to give you some referrals because they have a kind heart, beautiful spirit. Who knows? They may have a company, that they may be able to collaborate with you on, and so who knows? You might knock on the door for a realtor and say, you know what, we work with realtors. As a matter of fact, we collaborate with realtors. It's always take that opportunity to turn into an opportunity. Okay? And so you got a captive audience. It's just you and that individual, and it's just a conversation. Okay? It's
Absolutely.
Yeah, just unnerve yourself and be natural, man. And because when you are anxious and you show that you're nervous, you don't know what kind of energy you're giving off to the person who just opened the door. So that's another thing. So just go out there and let your hair down, man, and be yourself. That's all you ever need to be is yourself.
I will admit that first one was hard, but after you do that
Yeah.
first one,
Yeah. I'm trying to say.
it's it's kind of fun, but I'll tell you that first one was rough. It took me about 2 minutes.
You know what? No, watch this. This is what you do. Watch this right here. Next time, like this, look, do what Sabrina did when she was when we were talking about her doing a video. Man, next time somebody who's never knocked a door before, go knock a door and say, hey, look, this is my first door. You're my first door I've ever knocked. So I might be horrible at this. You know what I'm saying? But whatever it is, just get it out the way. You know what I mean? Just have a little fun with it. They may actually take pity on you and sympathy on you. So you know what? All right, I'll listen to you, hear what you got. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. Think about it. I'll listen to a person who's upfront and honest. You know, I promise. If you just, I'll give you that time because I don't want to be the person who ruins your life and your career. I'm just saying, and I might be able to give you a little bit of advice. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm just have a little fun with it, guys. Don't be so serious. Like the Joker said, why so serious, right? So don't be so serious. All right. Appreciate you, Vic. All right, Dr. Beckett, and then we'll roll.
Thanks for the platform, Mr. Bean. Couple of wins.
Yeah,
President.
couple.
The Zeta presentation at your house was kind of the launch of that. So we purchased and it won. I think today, as of now, I think we got like 25 on the team, 25 actual purchases of the Zeta. New video, kind of what Mr. Breen said, my wife and I did one on cancer. It's not the death sentence. And a part of that was, trying the Rain X2O. I mean, the Rain water system there. She'd been using Blue Jug and some other alkaline situations. So she's excited about that. Just the, as the brother said, Mr. Bean, in the corner, in the foxhole, it's been like Indianapolis 500, pit change, the whole 9 yards the last couple of days. So definitely appreciate you. And the goal is to show you more than tell you. So thank you, sir.
No problem. No problem. No, well, I'm excited about the team you guys have. We had a Zoom with Mr. Navarro and Earl and Doug's team. And Earl and Doug, they put 20 plus people on that Zoom. And we're talking about people who were in the tech field, IT field, just entrepreneurs. And it was nobody but that team. It wasn't no filler from our team. Wasn't nobody supporting. It was just their team and what their prospects. And talking about some excited people. Matter of fact, they were so that the audience was such a decent audience that Mr. Navarro was extremely excited about the audience itself. He talked about the type of the quality of people who were on that call and the quality of questions that they were asking. And he just, he knew right off the bat that it was going to be something big. And I did too. I was excited about it. But yeah, people who, matter of fact, Earl's partner, not only are they recruiting people, using Zeta to recruit people, they're selling those boxes. As a matter of fact, one of them, since we're talking about it, he bought 20 boxes. And so, guys, I'm telling you, you have and the concept around it was amazing. And because we don't buy boxes just to buy boxes for crypto tokens, right? And so they talk about a marketing strategy. He says, "Hey, look, I'm taking these boxes to houses and businesses, small businesses, and I'm letting them use it, for however long that window is, 3 days, 7 days, whatever that window is, and let them see it, let them feel it, let them know that what we have is high quality, and then I'm gonna go back and pick it up unless they buy it. They gotta pick it up, they're gonna buy it. But the cool part about it is." These are people who they don't know anything about cryptocurrency. They don't have to know anything about cryptocurrency, or anything about the nodes or anything about the tokens and stuff like that. Any tokens that come from those boxes basically go to him, right? And so he's just selling the boxes, selling the internet, and so it's a great marketing strategy, So I loved it. So I'm like, man, that's hot. But they had so much interest, they had so much participation and so much feedback that they actually jumped on the schedule when it comes to the tour. So Memphis is got that 21st date. We moved the Houston date to the 26th to give Memphis the 21st date because they're probably going to do way more damage than any tour that we go on, including California. And so that says a lot. And so again, when opportunities pop up, the market will dictate who's ready, right? And so again, plugging in, staying plugged in, keeping your people plugged in, that's very, very important because that's where your energy is at, right? So I'm excited about getting to Memphis. Also, when it comes to that Rain H2O guys, that just like he said, his wife is changing up her alkaline water and get ready to use ours. That's important. That's huge because, when you have, a body and your body knows exactly what it needs, it's very, very intelligent. Most people just don't listen to it. Okay. But when you put the best of what the earth has to offer into your body, guys, it responds. And so when you look at what that alkaline water does to people's body, it increases the pH level. It really puts the body in a position where it operates at a peak state of homeostasis. And so, and yeah, I say homeostasis. I know some of y'all looking at me like that word. He knows I've been in healthy coffee for years. That's where I got all this terminology from. So I've been talking healthy forever. But I do know this, right? That when I look back at my career and I look at how long we were in healthy coffee and we were and I look at all the stuff that happened with COVID and all the people who died, in COVID, guys, I'm gonna tell you, far and few of those people were people who we did business with and people who I saw in the healthy company industries. People who sold healthy products for years that took their own products. A lot of their immune systems were so strong that COVID couldn't touch them. And so I'm telling you, when think about it. Most of you guys have been in the industry of direct sales, network marketing for years. Look back at all the people who passed away, and look back at how many people who didn't, and look at all those people you did business with. Look at how many of them are still around. I'm telling you, when we say health is wealth, guys, you gotta build your body up. That's why I've been drinking healthy water, alkaline water, healthy water for a long time, over 15 years. Almost 17 years. So I appreciate that, Earl, not just the video, but like I said, First Lady actually transitioning from that water to our water. So that's going to be a big deal because now you're a walking, living, breathing billboard, of the product that you sell. So we talk about also, I have solar in my house. I have the water in my house. I have the Zeta in my house, right? I got the R word, the Ripple word in my house, and so I'm a product of all our products. And people want to know that you use what you sell. They want to know that you actually have bought and have experiences with what you sell. And so your water, the water code, but I'm telling you, you're missing out on the water. All right. But I appreciate you. Look forward to catching up with you in Memphis. It's going to be a beautiful situation. I already know it. All right. So what I want to do, and just for give you guys the information on the tour, Omi is going to be putting together a banner for the tour, and it's going to have every city on there. But I kind of give you guys the dates, right now while we at it. Let's see here. So Kevin Ross and myself will be we'll start it off June 14th in Anaheim, California. And then that's Saturday, June 14th. Then Memphis will be the next one. Okay, it will be June 21st, Saturday, June 21st. So if you have people in these markets and around those areas, you definitely want to make sure that you get them to those events. Right. Then we have the DMV. Yeah, we'll let you know the exact area, but it's either going to be right there on the Virginia side or right there on the Maryland side. But we'll know Monday. Dr. Arlene will know Monday when she gets back from the Caribbean. She's on one of her Aventi vacations that she bought with Sarah and for Sarah and but there she's got the date hooked up and she's got 2 locations. So, but either way, we're flying into DCA. We're flying into DCA, and that's going to be the closest airport to both locations, about 15 to 20 minutes from both. And we'll be staying in Crystal City, I think is Crystal City. But nonetheless, the 24th, okay, Tuesday the 24th, in the DMV. Then
Awesome.
Houston will be on the 26th. Thursday the 26th. And we have the location that we have in Houston. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Houston, you want to get there early for a reason. You want to make sure you're not late. You want to make sure you're not on time. You want to get there early. You want to get one of these seats. And I'm gonna leave it right. I'm gonna leave it at that. You want to get one of these seats. All right. So that's one of the things where you only gonna get to save one seat, yours and your spouse's. That's it. You want to be able to save another one of these seats. and you're going to want to make sure you get yourself in one of these seats. And I'm going to say that for the last time. Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, it will be there on the 28th, Saturday, the 28th. Yeah, Angel came through on that one. But yeah, Atlanta, Georgia, Saturday, the 28th. That'll be the final stop for the actual tour for June. Okay. The goal, guys, if you're a city not named on this list, even if you're in the same state, build up a market where, when we do a tour again, we can add your actual city, to that tour, right? Or build a tour around your city, right? Or you just do so much damage, we don't need a tour. We'll just get to your city, period. We'll get your CEO to your city, but you need to do it while he's traveling. Remember, in the beginning, CEOs travel in the beginning. They don't travel, along the process. Because once they got everything off the ground, once they got everything going, they have other important things to do that are more important than doing market events, right? And so while keep in mind, he wasn't even going to do this. This is not something he had on his docket. This is not something he had planned. This actually came just from how he was received in Houston. And so when he came to Houston, he didn't expect anything like this. He was expecting just to hook our box up, make sure everything was going, and kind of give us some tips and pointers and stuff like that on how to go out here and build it going forward. And so Kim can troubleshoot and help people going forward as well. And it turned into, a big event. It turned into a tour, and it turned into, now this big thing where he's now looking to go out there and get into these markets and have intimate conversations with people who can take his vision and give it life. Okay, so that's important. Now, when it comes to Zeta, I'm gonna talk about Zeta because Zeta, like I was explaining to everybody, the other day, Zeta has really helped me out a whole lot. So when I look at the house, and this is one of the things you want to do right now, especially since you're about to market Zeta. Anybody out there right now, just you can just raise your hand, say me, whatever it is. Anybody out here, in this audience today, have spotty internet. Sometimes it lags. Sometimes you might drop something to where you feel like your internet can be better. Anybody would love to have a better, connection, better speed. Anybody? Okay, so everybody else with perfect internet. You should have told us who your service was provided by. But anyway, so you have so what you want to do right now, you want to start there. You want to go ahead and say, hey, this is what my internet does, right? Like this is what I don't like about my internet. Okay, because you're about to be communicating with people about internet. Okay, so this is what I don't like about my internet at its current state right now, current place right now. This is what it does to me. This is what drives me crazy about my internet right now. This is what I don't like about my internet right now. And write that down. Okay. And so if it's something that's in your region or if it's something that's in your neighborhood, write that down. Because now it's not just your house, it's a problem for the neighborhood. It's a problem for the block. Right. And this is stuff you want to document because when you're communicating with people and you are looking to sell something, to people, you want to make sure that you have it together. Let's see here. Yeah, you want to make sure you have the context, what I'm saying, of what's going on. Right? Then you have like I have inciting conflict. I have inciting conflict. And the inciting conflict with me was when, we were actually I had a Zoom scheduled and, we had a storm and all of a sudden I couldn't get on Zoom. And I end up having to, on this particular time, I end up having to go to the country club to do the presentation. So I had to leave the house and go to the country club to sit there on the country club's patio and do the Zoom. And it's not the first time. This has happened a couple of times. So again, now you can see what my frustration is. So when you have the problems that you're going through, the things that you got going on, then all of a sudden you have what Zeta represents and what's when you get that box, yeah, and you get your box rather, and you see the changes, you get a chance to document those changes. One, you get a chance to look at the speed with the app that they give you and say, okay, this is the speed it is right now. Okay, and so now you hook up to Zeta. This is the speed after Zeta. Yeah, you want your before and after. All right. And so you want to make sure you take a video of it, screenshot of it, whatever you got to do. But you want to make sure, I would say, video it. Okay. Because this is about documentation, right? People don't go off of hearsay. You know, they don't want to be sold, they want to buy. And people buy what they see, they buy facts, right? And so then now you get a chance to tell them what it's like when it comes to the experience that you have once Zeta is on, and now your house is functioning, off of Zeta. Say now you got your before, you got your after, you got your story, and that is what's going to help you guys, really move your story. Because what you're going to hear when I get to you, when you get to the markets, when I introduce Kevin, I'm going to tell my internet story. I'm gonna tell my Wi-Fi story, and I'm gonna get people in the position where they're saying, "Oh, hey, that happens to me." Like I can relate. Because I'm going to tell them, how it's so bad that when I first moved in my house, I couldn't make phone calls on the first floor of my house. I had to go to the second floor, right, and stand by the window. So, which is crazy, right? I have a beautiful house, huge pool. I love it. But this internet makes me want to sell the house as soon as I bought it. Like I can't do business. I'm frustrated. I'm not feeling good about the situation. Like I can't even make the money to pay for the house because of the internet. This is driving me crazy, right? It's driving me bananas. And so now we went through this program, this router, this internet, and we're spending all this money and nothing's fixing it. Then we finally got on the company in the neighborhoods, chat group to say, hey guys, do you know anybody who can network a home? Right. And so we got a guy come out, network the home, 3 arrows boxes, and all of a sudden we got a mesh system that's functioning to where we actually have internet on first and second floor, and we can do business. But it's still not the best, but it's better than what we had. And we've been surviving on that for 5 years. And so we've been, dealing with it, coping with it, knowing that again, it's not going to get any better than what it is. And then Zeta comes on, and again, before Zeta comes on, now at this point in time, we got internet, but when I do Zooms now, I had to kick the kids off of all of the electronics. Hey, get everybody off the PS2, PS4, get everybody off the cell phones, turn all the internet off, hey, turn the smart TVs off. I need everything we got, and just to do a Zoom. So now I'm public enemy number one. Right. And so kids don't like me. And so now I got 2 kids walking around the house for an hour, 2 hours, especially if it's 2 hours on Saturday because they can't jump on the internet at all. That's a problem. Right. And so now, based on Zeta, everybody's on all their devices. Nobody has to get off, off the phone. They can scroll and do whatever they want on the internet service, whatever. But we have a happy home. I don't have to worry about, drops, lags, and stuff like that on my internet. I have the best internet I have ever had, right? Best speeds, download speeds I've ever had. And so life is different now. My quality of life is different now. And so that's again that I'm working. My goal this weekend is to work on my story and get that thing crafted down to where it's 90 seconds to 2 minutes, and boom, lights out. And then it'll probably end up being on the video somewhere. But that's going to be my conversation that I'm having with people about Zeta. And a lot of people can relate to what I'm going to be talking about. And so a lot of people are going to be able to relate about what you're going to be talking about. It's no different than James talking about the blackout. Okay. So a lot of people, again, the Wi-Fi is the same thing. So get your stories together, guys. This is something this weekend. Understand exactly what frustrates you about your system, what forced you to buy Zeta, and say, you know what, let me cross my fingers, hope this thing works. And what did you experience after Zeta? Okay. And so that's what you want. Okay. Now, when you look at the sales of it, you want to sell more of what I just talked about than you do the mining and the tokens and things like that. Okay, because we don't want this to look like some kind of crypto Ponzi deal or anything like that, where we got a crypto push, or it's the exact opposite. And we want the exact opposite of that. Okay? And so that way people don't get the wrong idea. You don't have people buying boxes. Because the first thing when I asked Kevin, do we have a cap on how many boxes that we're buying? He said, well, it depends on who's buying the boxes and what they're buying them for. Because we don't want the boxes just to sit up in somebody's house, in a shelter or a shed or something, just so they're buying it for the 50,000 crypto tokens. And so that defeats the purpose, and so we don't have those units and the density and giving us to get to the next phase, right? And so once he realized that there's no limit, people got a plan for them. That's fine. They can buy them. They can use them. And like I said, he knew when I told him about Earl and Doug. He said, "Oh yeah, these are smart people because they're looking for, the questions that they sent over for a video they wanted him to do, ask him to do, that he's going to be doing for them." So he approved it. So okay, cool. So that's when Doug bought the 20 boxes. But the crypto side, the native token side, is an addition. So yesterday when I had a conversation, when I have a guy coming on next week from another company, he literally he's about trading, right? And so I talked to him about the trading that we have coming and stuff like that. But I let him know. I said, look, don't sleep on the internet. I said, I'm about to do this tour. Internet, in my personal opinion, is about to become my coffee. Like I said, remember I told you when we first started talking, be like water, be fluid, be open, be flexible, because you don't know where your next million is going to come from, right? I said, I found it. I said, literally, just like coffee hit me from out of nowhere. I didn't drink coffee, but I trusted somebody who had my answer, not my problem. This is my coffee, period. I said, my residual income is going to come from this, that my business is going to be built on this. Everything is going to be right now. My next move of wealth is going to be on this. And I talked to him about the service first to provide that they provided. And he's like, wow. And I said, so when you look at trading, you have people, you're from Trinidad, you have people from different countries, right? And all through the Caribbean who trade. He said, yeah. And he's going to Nigeria to talk about trading and everything else as well. So I said, so what's the worst thing can happen to a person in the middle of a trade? He said, internet go out. I said, exactly. I said, so right now, this is something that you can marry, to everything that you're doing and everything you're about to be doing. Okay. So, and then I said, oh, by the way, you're going to be mining the native tokens just like like people mine Bitcoin. I said, if you have the equipment, you're using your energy, when you mine Bitcoin, you get to keep Bitcoin, right? And so it's the same thing. Our Zeta native token, because you have the Zeta box, right? The Wi-Fi router box, and you're going to be, allowing people to network on your nodes and stuff like that. You're going to be mining Zeta tokens. So it's one of those things where, again, you're going to be putting yourself in a position where you're going to get tokens, while you are actively using something that you would never not use again once you hook it up. It's a forever mining system. And so he was like, wow, okay. All right. I got that. I got that. And so now he's mentally in a space that he was never in when he thought about this company. So when he comes to sit down and he meets, with me, and he brings his people to California, and he meets with myself and Mr. Navarro, he will have already had all of the WeLink stuff I'm sending him, all of the background information and stuff about the company that I've sent him. So right now he's going to be geeked out. And so that part, again, make sure you make the service itself the primary with the stories, and then you make the tokens the secondary. Now, I'm gonna give you guys some information that you guys need to know. I want to make sure you guys are on point with this. When it comes to the Zeta, the box, the price of it right now is at $675, obviously, and that's due to go up. And we knew, we thought that was going to go up on Monday. Right now, I'm having a conversation with Kevin and Mr. Navarro as we speak. We've been going over this for the last 24 to 48 hours. I'm asking them to extend it, till at least after the tour. So we can use that we can use as much of that as possible for the tour, momentum wise, get the units moved, get the boxes moved, and get them in people's houses so we can get those stories. And so right now I got both of their attention. I think both of them are in agreement. But now I even gave my alternative. I said, well, you got some people who they may want to sell their boxes for full price right now. And if that's the case, that's fine too. But I want to make sure we at least have the opportunity to sell the boxes if we want to for $675 at least until June 30th or July 1st. So it was scheduled to go up, guys, to full price on Monday. But again, I'll keep working. You'll hear about it, by Monday if they're going to go up or not. So we're talking about that now. As far as like the make sure, like, for those of you who have the presentations, guys, go back and listen to the presentations over and over and over again, the ones that Mr. Navarro did that you can actually hear and understand. Make sure you go over those presentations over and over and over again. Get those conversations down in your spirit, because you're going to have to start conversating with people about this. No different than what I did when it came to solar. I didn't know anything about solar. I just immersed myself into those, submerged myself into those conversations, listening to JC and all the rest of the other professionals. Get this stuff, because the one thing you don't want to get is behind. You don't want to get caught behind based on the fact that you chose not to educate yourself. Yeah, that's going to be when you see how fast this thing is growing and how fast this thing is moving. The one thing that'll hit your self-esteem harder than anything is the fact that you chose not to educate yourself when you had a chance before it actually got hot. Okay, and so I remember we were on a leadership call and Fabian was saying, "Hey, I just sold 10 boxes to a builder. He's about to buy 10 boxes. He's about to buy 10 more boxes." So the builder has homes all over California that he's built and that he's building, and so over Chicago as well. So he sold 10 boxes to that builder. The builder's about to buy 10 more. And I'm like, see, that's what I'm talking about right there. It's exactly why I'm glad I'm open-minded and flexible, and why I'm learning this stuff right now, because if somebody's buying 10 boxes from him and they're about to buy 10 more, then somebody in my team, we're going to find some people who are going to buy those type of boxes. The next thing you know, Doug popped up and bought 20. But if I'm not in a position where I can have a confident conversation with Doug and Earl and get them in a position where they can sit down in front of, the actual founder of Zeta, it's not happening. If I'm not buying in, the founder of Zeta is never in my living room. Telling you, right? You're either attracting or you are repelling. Remember that. And while you are educating yourself, you are attracting. You're in a state of openness. You're in a state of attractiveness. You're now allowing anything and everything positive to come into your spirit when it comes to Zeta or anything that you're focusing on. Because what you focus on will expand. What you focus on, you will give life to. What you focus on will take up occupancy in your spirit, your brain, and again, all it's going to do is grow into a life form one day. Okay, so that's very, very important. Also, what I'm working on with the company is, turning that Zeta pack into the Zeta deal into a box into a pack. We got a couple things that we need to do in order for that to happen behind closed doors, and some things we have to figure out. But that's the goal, because it's one thing for a person, which is cool for a person to be able to have access to the membership for 30 days, but that pack that box is more expensive than the 199 pack. So if it's more expensive than the 199 pack, why can't we turn that into a pack and a person gets credit for that when it comes to their builder being builder 500, builder 1,000, builder 2,000, stuff like that, the first month instead of just the second month, right? And so that's a conversation, because I'm always having conversations about evolving the system, looking out for the builders, not just the retailers, not just the salespeople. I want to make sure that everything is covered. But we talked about the $4.99 pack and the $9.99 pack that we were talking about at one point in time. And so we have, if you got a box that's going to be $1,400, $1,350, why not have that turned into a pack? And so that's the conversation that we're having right now. And so it behaves as a pack. It may as well be a pack. So, so me and Juan, Mr. Navarro, we were talking about that yesterday and last week. Let's see here. Oh, also now going to the setup. So when I say the setup, you want to make sure you are able to function in Zeta in a duplicatable manner and a manner that doesn't cost you frustration and confusion. And what I mean by that is when a person says, "Hey, I want to go ahead and buy Zeta," send them your affiliate link. Send them their affiliate link. Yeah, I said affiliate. Send them their affiliate link, right? Because there's a time and place for everything. The affiliate is appropriate for here, right? So now send them that link, and you send them the link because you know where they're going to be placed when you send them the link. Okay. So when you send them a link, you already got your side placement side there. You already got them placed on the side. So now they just go in and they just click their own button. So when they click that button, that they're buying it from you. Okay. Now, when you actually do it in the reverse, when you just send them the link from your back office and say, "Hey, click on this link and buy it," what happens is that link goes directly to Zeta and they buy it. And then Zeta then has to turn around and send a report to the company that may take 24 to 48 hours, right? For that to happen, depending on how backed up they are, how many they getting because the numbers are growing. So then once they take the link, they put the link and they drop the person in your system. And when they give it to Juan drops the person in your system based on where your back office is set up at. So now if you have your back office set up to one side and you didn't want to go to that side, that's a problem. If you got your back office set up to flip flop and you didn't want it on the side that's flip flopping too, that's a problem. So again, you just want to make sure you're able to control traffic. You want to make sure you're able to direct everything that's happening in that Zeta process. Okay, so anytime you have something moving with a lot of moving parts, you want to make sure you are the one controlling the narrative and the directions. Okay, so go with the affiliate position, and then boom, let them click on that. Let them click on that button in that box. Let's see here. When it comes to
Mr. Bean, that's the link. That's the link that when you open up your back office, is right in front of you by my Zeta.
Yep, by my Zeta. So yeah, so now remember, now that's for you to buy it. When
Correct.
buy my Zeta means I'm buying my Zeta, right?
Right.
So now when you go to once you're in the system and now you actually have your Zeta, you have your affiliate link and stuff like that, what ends up happening is you go to my account and then go to my websites, and then at the end of all your websites, you should see Zeta as the last website.
Mhm.
Okay, so now that's a link that you can actually send people, okay, if they don't have the affiliate position. So you have two ways to put a person in a position where they can purchase Zeta. Okay, send them the affiliate, let them push the button. That way they have a position. That way they get a chance to see everything that we have to offer. So you're indirectly promoting to them. Or you can just send them the link, right? And then the company loads it up, the Zeta loads it up and sends the information to Juan, and then within 24 to 48 hours, they can see it in their back office. Right? So, but it's automatic. They can see it immediately. If it's coming through the affiliate position, they have to wait 24 to 48 hours for confirmation, all this other stuff if they go through the link. So I just want to make sure you guys know the difference on that. Time wise, 24 hours. If you got a person who buys Zeta and then all of a sudden they want to turn around and sell it and they don't have that link, now we got to send an email to them and see if we can get a rush on it and have them do extra work when we could have just did it from the affiliate position to begin with.
Mr. Bean, quick question. So if we already have people who are currently affiliates in our downline,
Mm-hmm.
have those previous affiliates positions been upgraded to include the Buy My
The
Zeta
button,
link?
the button, that button should be on everybody's affiliate position and on everybody's builder position. So everybody
Okay.
should have a button. If you're in the company, 100% of the people should have a button. If they don't have a button, just let us know. And that's one of those glitches. That's was one of those things that may have fallen through the crack. And
Mm-hmm.
Earl actually had one of those yesterday, but that's just one of those things where everybody
Mm-hmm.
should have one. So, but yeah, I would go back and start having conversations with people. This is a way for you to double back and follow up as well for all your
Mm-hmm.
affiliates. This is where you go back to them and have a conversation with them about Zeta and say, hey, look, there's a buy my Zeta button in your back office. You might want to take a look at that. Here's a 12-minute video explaining what Zeta is, and here's a conversation with, and now they say, I'm excited about that. I want to know more about that. Give them the long form with Mr. Navarro,
Mm-hmm.
one of the presentations we did. You can also let them use the Q&As that I put in there between Mr. Navarro and Earl's team. We're building up tools for people to utilize. Matter of fact, the Earl Omi is actually taking some of the Zooms that we've done, and she's
Mm-hmm.
creating clips, taking clips from some of those Zooms. Some of you guys saw the first two that she did from Mr. Navarro's Zoom. That
Mm-hmm.
was on my channel. So right now I'm telling you guys, this is Sabrina, like you heard Sabrina open up and talked about Zeta. I told you guys, there's nothing on social media when it comes to Zeta. So if there's nothing on social media that comes to Zeta, if you're the only videos in town, people are looking at you as the expert, looking to you for advice, and they're looking to you to buy, or they're looking to you to join, right? And so I've had people already reach out to me, say, hey, give me some more information about this box, because it's out there, and it's now is becoming a buzzword. Zeta is about to become very, very hot, almost overnight. And so we're putting as much content out as possible. If you have, I know Angel has a VA. If you guys have help, social media help of some sort, I'm telling you, put them to work. Divert their focus and their energies to Zeta, and get as much content out as possible. So you'll have a electronic footprint, on social media, maps all over social media. So when they get hot, people can start looking at your stuff, even if it's your stuff that somebody else did, or your stuff that somebody else talked about. You'll see a lot of Kevin Ross stuff up there on my channel that I don't care about who's speaking it, who's talking about it. I fully jacked somebody, and I'm proud to say it. Hey, I'm telling you, change the voice and everything, change the name, like, hey, look, and now I send it to some people who want to know more about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, that's very, very important, guys. So kudos to Sabrina for doing exactly what I asked the guys to do on Thursday night on Wednesday night on the leadership call, and she came right out and did video. Okay, and so Earl doing videos. So, but that's important. Yeah. So hope that answers your question, Carly.
Thank you. It does. Thank you. I just need to check with them and see if they got, if that's on there. I've, been sending stuff out about Zeta to my affiliates, reaching out to them. And, like, I know that like I had one in particular. I was like, I know you say you don't want to do anything with Build right now. I need you to check this out. So,
This is what I would do. I would
mhm.
call. Like I said,
I
I
do
would
call.
call. Oh, okay,
I do
good.
call and then I
Okay. I heard you
I
say
call
I
and then I
send stuff
follow up with
out. Yeah,
no,
good.
I
Just
call and then I follow up with the email after I make
gotcha.
the call.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Perfect. Yeah, guys, you don't want to send static information to people who've been in a static situation, right? So call them. They need to hear your voice. They need to hear the energy. They need to hear, how the electricity flowing through your body, through their phone, and they need to feel something special, something different. And so, look, you don't even have to join the company. You don't have to upgrade or nothing. Right now, you get a chance to get this as a discount because you're going to need this. You need this now. And so you're calling just to sell. Don't call to re-recruit. Don't call to get them to upgrade the builder. Call to get them to buy Zeta. Okay. And so if you've done, what the earlier video said, do go get your 50, of the A words. go ahead and put yourself in a position where you call all those people and say, hey, look, you need to be buying this box. By the way, not only are you buying the box, you're going to get 50,000 tokens while you're part of the first 500. In a hurry. You want to hurry up and use the 50,000 tokens on them. Okay, because they feel like they'll be getting something for nothing, and 50,000 tokens, if they understand it, once they understand the value of the system, that 50,000 tokens to them can be a come up, especially if they don't have to do an auto ship, a subscription, or build a business or anything like that. They get all the benefits of having a company without actually having to build a company. And that's how you want to speak affiliate language. Okay, that's affiliate language. Beckett.
Yes, sir. Just piggyback on what you said about the affiliate piece. You mentioned about the problems, and that's what entrepreneurs do. So go back to the affiliate and say, hey, I'm looking for 5 people, man, that's got some similar problems. You may know some people. Slow speed, download, kids, PlayStation, da, 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 da. I'm looking for 5 people, at least that you may know that would test them. Bring the product, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, you went out with me for a second, but I got most of it. But no, I definitely would say definitely, hey, look, I'm looking for everybody right now. Anybody,
Right.
everybody, everybody. Because right now we just launched the Zeta, and I need people who have these problems. How many people can you give me on a list of paper right now that have these challenges, or one person, 2 person, 10 people, 20, whatever it is? Can you hook your brother up? You know what I'm saying? I need these. I need names. I need numbers. I need people who need whatever it is. You can do that route, but I'm going at them first. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do the who do you know, but
Yep.
I'm coming out the gate asking them about the internet. If you can change anything about your internet right now, what would it be? Would it be the speed, the download speed? Do you have lags? Do you get kicked off of Zooms? Drops? Uh, what what are you experiencing when it comes to your internet? I want them talking about their internet first. I want them talking about their internet problem first before I talk about anybody, any referrals, who you knows. I want you to tell me. I want you to look me in my in this social media eye on the cell phone, whatever it is. I want you to tell me what your problems are with your internet, with your Wi-Fi. Okay, and that's why I want everybody to start. That's the foundation, and then once we get them, hey, let's make it happen. Now I need some Zeta. Matter of fact, if you get me a couple people, I'll even upgrade you. Okay? If you give me a couple people, I'll upgrade you to building myself. You give me 5 people, or you give me 10 people, I'll upgrade you to building myself. If you want to be a builder, whatever you want to do, because again, if they giving them to you, they're giving you the coins. You know what I'm saying? If they giving them to you, yeah, I'd gladly give you, $200 to be a builder if you're gonna give me, 250,000 coins. Just saying. I buy 250 coins, 250,000 coins for, man. I buy 50,000 coins for $200. Yeah, matter of fact, you give me a referral. I'll pay your upgrade. Now I just thought about it. Now that I talked it through, what I'm saying, for the chance of having 50,000 coins, man, send me a referral that buys Zeta, and a lot of people who need better internet like you. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you 200 so you can upgrade. Just This is how you work things out. Having conversations with people, you know what I'm saying, knocking ideas around, working this thing through. This is a think tank. I tell you, some of y'all, not all y'all, but some of y'all, I get smarter when I talk to. But when I talk to all of y'all at one time, I'm definitely getting a lot smarter. So, but no, that's how that works still. I mean, Earl, I would definitely, then you go into it. But I'm always want to connect the value with them, because people always want to know what's in it for me. I'm always starting there first. I'm attacking you and your value. I'm attacking you, your needs, your wants, your desires, your benefits, your features, your advantages. I'm attacking that first. I'm going directly at you, and I'm about to hit you where it feels good at. Give me your problems. Let me give you a solution. Okay. Give me one thing, I'll give you everything. Give me this, I'll give you $200. Right. That way you can do your thing. Now you can turn around and sell as much of this stuff as you want. You can buy everything that we sell and you keep commissions, whatever it is. I just want to get to that point. All right, Laura.
Oh, Mr. Bean, I just love Crash Camp. I just love Crash Camp because it's just the absolute perfect mastermind. Like you said, when we talk to each other, we come up with a lot of different things. And that was like classic GCU to identify the problem so that we can solve the problem. But I had a question. I think it was mentioned on the leadership call on Wednesday. So for people who might feel they are financially challenged, is it correct that when they're checking out with their Zeta box that they can have their payment split like through PayPal or Shop or something like that? If you could speak for a moment on that. So if people don't think that they have, $675, how they can address that situation, please, sir?
Sure. Matter of fact, Sabrina, you can speak on that if you don't
Oh,
mind.
sure. So basically, I know Shop Pay. Shop Pay will give you three different options. It will give you the first option is to pay it off in 6 weeks with no interest. The second option is to pay it off in 6 months, which you will have small interest. And then the third option is to pay it off in 1 year. So they can get the payment down to as low as 60, $70 a month versus having to pay the whole, $700-800.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
I am noticing that each time that they wait, that the shipping increases, which is crazy. So it's gone from $38, now it's up to like $55 for shipping and handling now. So that's the biggest thing that's being tacked on to the box itself. But other than that, they have those three options, and I believe Dr. Arlene mentioned Cash App is also an option. So if you have a Cash App account,
She
they
said
also
PayPal.
have a.
Let's see,
Oh, is it
PayPal. I think
PayPal? It's
PayPal.
PayPal.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
they have that option where you can set up payments through PayPal as well. So
Yeah, that was cool. Like, cause I didn't know about the PayPal. Now I saw the shop one that you was talking about. That's when she said that, I'm like, oh, that's another one. That's what I'm talking about. That helps out a lot. The more options, the better. And so
Thank you.
all they have to do is qualify for it. So that's good stuff. All right, Vic.
Mr. Bean, wow, this man, this thing is fire right here. I've been sleeping on it, and just being on today's call is really gonna light a fire up under me for this. Hold on, I'm on the phone there. Everybody's gonna want this. So I'm looking in my back office, and I wanted to know what can I look under the videos. I don't see anything under the video library for it. Where could I find information to send to someone, and as well as educate myself when I'm speaking to someone?
And the 4x4 group.
Okay.
Yep.
On Facebook?
Yep. No, on the 4x4 group and on WhatsApp. That's why
WhatsApp. Okay.
everything get. Yep.
Okay.
And guys, I'm telling y'all that 4x4 group, again, for those of you who are not checking in that group once a day or twice a day, you're missing out a lot. I'm
Okay.
telling you, and it's not just for you, Vic. I'm just saying in general, because that's just not one of those groups you want to casually be around. Yeah, it's some information in there. You might know it's an event coming up. You might know this. You might know this. That's a banner that's cropping up, but it's your business. And when you don't, check, it's kind of like having a boardroom meeting or a boardroom website. If you were an owner or a shareholder of a company and you had a chat group, you would be in it every day. You would be actively in it every day if you had a billion-dollar corporation and that you had upgrades and information and all type of things flowing through that chat group. And that's why, again, some of the things that people don't believe that's important cost people the most money. Okay. When you don't have access, when you choose not to have access, because that's a choice. When you choose not to have access to the information, then that information cannot help you, right? You don't have an opportunity to grow from the information and things that are going on. And so you always want to make sure, that because there are a lot of people who actually could have had us come to their market, right? But they wasn't plugged in. So if you're not plugged in, you don't know that that was even an opportunity. Now you've missed the opportunity and it may be the only opportunity. Nobody knows this man is ever going to go on a tour again or ever come to another market again. One thing I know that he was willing to go on a tour this time, and he called us and said, "Hey, look, I want to go to different cities based on what happened in your living room." And so we said that, and we even had meetings about that and had conversations on training calls about that. You had people who were not available for that, right? For whatever reason, right? And that when you miss those moments, guess what? Your people miss those moments too.
Okay.
No, it don't just cost you. No, this ain't for you, Vic. This for everybody. I'm talking in general population.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, yeah. So this is when you miss those moments, your people miss those moments. When you miss that money, your people miss that money. When you miss that opportunity, your people miss that opportunity. Remember, that word leader is a very, very important word. Guys, I'm telling you, everybody wants to be a leader, but everybody don't want the responsibilities that come with it. Okay. That's why you have, 3 to 5% of the people who control all the money, because those 3 to 5% of the people control themselves better than they control anything else. They're very, very disciplined, they're very on purpose, and they don't make excuses, they make it happen. They make time for what's important, and everything is important, because I'll tell you all the time, the most important part of the car is not the steering wheel, is not the engine, it's the part that's missing. And if you're missing, if you're missing, that means that your car is about to break down, your vehicle is about to break down, your team is about to break down. And so if your team can't count on you, who can they count on? That's why I tell y'all, I want to get so far away from network marketing. It's pitiful, the network marketing talk, the network marketing experience, because a lot of people don't fail because of their own efforts. A lot of people fail based on the inefficiency and ineffectiveness of their leadership. Okay. And so you have people who are always quick to complain about everything that goes wrong, but they're never on time, or they're never on point. They're never at all the events. They're never at all the trains. They're never plugged into all the chats and stuff like that. And it's tedious, but it's necessary. If I'm in multiple chats, the leadership chat with the owners, this chat with you guys, this chat over here with Zeta, I got at least 7 chats that I must be in and I must be current on. You have 2. Okay, so make sure you make it your business. Okay, because if you make it your business, it'll help you build your business. If you don't, it can break your business. Real-time information is the best information out there. You don't want to catch anything secondhand.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. And you were talking to me. It's okay.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, that's like how they say, Pastor Show was preaching to me today. I'm talking to you today. Everybody who ain't even on this call today, right? Who gonna log in and see this on Saturday, on Sunday, on Monday? They're gonna come back and double back and watch it then, and you'll see the comments. They're gonna get hit with it too, because that's the thing about, like we say, you can't complain about the president if you didn't vote. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. You can't complain about the company if you didn't make any contributions, if you wasn't on point, if you wasn't in attendance, if you wasn't here to do your part. You can't complain about anything, right? And so, but I appreciate you actually, giving the opportunity to talk about that, because that actually helps everybody out, because some people need to really hear that.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Leroy.
Yes, good morning to everyone.
Good
Thanks
morning,
for all that
Mr.
you
Woodard.
do. I just need you to re-clarify something for me. Sometimes it's a little difficult basically to recall. When you speak of the links themselves, I know I have a person that's coming on a noon webinar. I want to make sure that I give that person the right link. So the replicated site link, is that the correct one that I give him?
So you say give them the right link for Zeta or for the business? Okay. So for Zeta, if they're coming on to buy Zeta, okay, what you want to do is you want to give them the replicated site link, the one where they can enroll, basically, so they can become an affiliate, right? and then let them know once they click on that link, once they enroll, put their information in, they're going to see that button, right? And that button is what they're gonna smash that, hit that button, and that button is gonna, sign them up as an affiliate, and then sign them up to purchase Zeta rather.
Okay, so in the interim there, the link, sign up as an affiliate. And after they've signed up as an affiliate, then the button pops up and then they enroll in Zeta.
Yep, they buy the box and boom, they automatically enroll.
Okay, gotcha.
Because once they sign up as an affiliate, 100% of their information is already in the system. They just now have to buy the box.
Okay.
And I appreciate you asking that question, because again, I might articulate it one way where 25, 35% of y'all get it. But if you ask a question and have me articulate it in another manner, now I catch another 35, 40%. And so somebody else want to ask me a question again, I answer it in your format as well. So we just want to make sure everybody's got an understanding on it. And it's, again, we want to make sure that we're clear, and we want to make sure that we're efficient and effective, and we can go out here and run, because confused people do absolutely nothing. Right? So good stuff. And I know you out there, you got water and Zeta, you got all this stuff coming over there, man. I'll tell you one thing about you buy what you sell. And so I appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Sure.
Awesome. All right. Anybody else have any other questions about Zeta? And whether it be marketing, whether it be presenting, whether it be, anything. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You mentioned about them 50,000 coins. So are you alluding that the threshold of 500 has not been reached and there's more?
I am exactly alluding to that. As a matter of fact, I got the actual count, which I will not divulge, but I will tell you, you need to hurry up.
You ain't got to say no more. I'm on speed dial. Let me y'all for FaceTime, brother.
Hey,
I'll let you.
I'm telling you. Hold on. So don't jump off just yet. Don't jump off just yet.
Oh, no, I'll be going off the camera.
Okay, yeah. So this is what you do for those, and also, guys, when you look at these events that we have coming up into these markets, you want to make sure you find out who's in those cities, because the event itself is not going to be a network marketing event. It's going to be an actual Zeta event. So let people know this is not network marketing. This is Zeta. This is the future. This is, this is internet revolutionized. This is, an opportunity for a person to be a part of change, environmental change, community initiative change, investment, potential investment on the back end as well, which what a person can actually benefit from when it comes to those coins. Because when you look at those coins, guys, the coin go up $1, go to $1. It's 50 grand. If the coin go to 50 cents, it's 25 grand. Right? It go to 10 cent, 5 grand. You only pay $6.75 for the box. And you got, well, my dad used to say, hellified internet. So that was his word on everything. But MJ, you like that? That's pops. But think about that though. You have true value, guys. One of the things that was wrong with, like, you hear Mr. Ross, you hear Mr. Navarro talk about this. The biggest thing that was wrong with blockchain, these passive platforms and these coins and stuff like that, the coins themselves have no real utility. They have no real, and most of these coins out there have no real product or service attached to it. We have a product and service that's attached to it. There's not just a one-off, purchase, but it's one of those, just everlasting, infinite usage type situations. In the usage, nobody here is going to ever stop using internet, ever. How much sense? Think about that for a second. How much sense does that make for you to sell something to somebody that they'll never stop using? Oh, by the way, when they buy it, they never stop earning. You understand that?
Yeah.
Think, that's the thing, guys. That's the ultimate utility. And this is not, I'm not telling you to buy something that's going to be extra, something that you don't need, that I got to convince you to sell. It's just switching what you're buying. It's what you're using. You're just switching what you're using. It's like coffee. Never had to tell anybody to add coffee to their budget. It was already in it. You just switched the type of coffee you was drinking. Right, Brenda? You just switched the type of coffee you was drinking. That's why coffee was so easy for us to sell, right, Angel? So Laura, it's just you just drink our healthy coffee that tastes better than your nasty coffee that's bad for you and might cost you a couple extra dollars, but at least you live a little bit longer. It won't cost you, it's gonna actually save you money on your health long term. You know what I'm saying? So is it really costing you extra? No. If you get better, faster internet and you don't have to worry about drops, you don't have to worry about losing deals. You don't have to worry about, your trades falling short. You don't have to worry about losing your money because you couldn't hit your cutoff money on your trade. You couldn't set you could it's not going to cost you money to have great internet. It's going to make sure you protect your money. Right. And so you're just changing how you say your buying habits. You're just changing the product, from one to another. Right. And so this is genius. We I know the box works for certainty, and I'm learning so much stuff because like Kim and Mr. Ross was having conversations through text messages all night, and I'm reading them. I'm like, I didn't know that. Oh, okay, so that's cool to know. That's cool to know, and I'm getting this information in third person, like third party smoke coming from a cigarette or something. Like it's just hit me. I'm like, wow, we have our hands on something super special, we haven't even scratched the surface of this stuff because what's required to sell it is not a lot, right? But what's required to make millions of dollars on it, once you really wrap your mind around this stuff, and you can really give people true value, infinite value on this thing, where now you can have an educated conversation. I didn't know people geek out about this stuff like they do. I'm serious, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have way more people wanting to talk to me about internet and Wi-Fi services and networking systems and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, I really should have hung out with the people who wore pocket protectors when I was in school. I don't know, like I chose the wrong group of people to hang out with. This ain't cool. I feel like I lost a lot of years when it comes to technology because the programmers are making a fortune. These guys making billions of dollars and setting up tech corporations and making all the investments and all this. Man, look, I'm telling you, get your life right. Because that is the beginning of everything. I'm telling you right now, it's going to open up your brain to a lot. If you are not in this space, I'm just telling you, just like solar, believe it or not, solar opened my brain up to a lot. Even though I don't sell solar myself personally, I build a business. Just based on me being in the solar space has opened up, my dialogue and evolved my conversation in other areas that are attached to solar. And now this technology side it's the same thing. Zeta is the same exact thing. The more and more I learn, the more and more dialogue I can have, conversations I can have, the more creative I can be when it comes to communicating value and developing your business plans and stuff like that, launch plans and things. So I'm geeking out about this stuff right now. I'm really excited about what we had our hands on. All right, Evans, Mr. Kanganye.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Awesome, awesome. Let me see if I can turn on my camera. It's amazing to see you, sir.
You as well. You as well. It's some people who saw your name and said, "Oh my God, Evans is back."
And I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be back in action, to be back in the family, to see everyone. It's so exciting, sir. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you so much, and Mrs. Bean, and for the whole family as well, for all the love, the welcome. Um, it's heartwarming, and I really appreciate. Uh, yeah, I've been missing out in the game for the last, I think, 1.5 years. And one of the things I was just thinking about this week. Sorry if I have a question, but I think I'd like to share something first, if it's all right.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking this week. I've been in this industry for over 10 years, 10, 15 years. And it blocked me from doing many other things in terms of studies. Because I thought, okay, let me take industry seriously back that time and not do other things. And I did not. I thought American.
You're breaking up on us, Evans. Let's see.
Sorry.
Still breaking up on us a little bit.
Is it good? I think I'm on phone. There was a phone call coming in.
Okay, there we go. All right, there we go.
Okay, awesome. So I was saying 15 years ago, that's when I started this industry. And I decided to stop doing some other things that I was doing. And I didn't really get quite successful at that time until like 2 years ago, when I started directly being involved with you and doing projects that you directly taught me how to do things. And things happened. But this time around, when I just thought about coming back into the game, I told myself this is the right time to totally get serious because this industry has been with me for the last 10 years. It is serious that I get serious with it. And it's the right moment because I have the right leadership, I have the right family, I have the right, when I look at Build, when I look at the kind of products that they have, it's like a mall. And so I said, this is the right business, this is the right company for me to take this serious. So it's exciting to be working with you again, sir, to be close to the family again. And when we just talked about the new product that I saw, the Zeta, it's just mind-blowing to be at the forefront of people talking about revolutionizing an industry. It has never happened to me in my life. Being with people who are talking such big words, being in a meeting with the CEO of a company, not just a distributor, but the top of the cream, it's just a favor that I think God has brought to me. So I just want to give my appreciation to you. And one of the questions that I had about Zeta is, here in Kenya right now, we have up to 4G internet. That's what we have. We have some places with 5G, the whole country is on 4G. So Zeta is on 7G. So I was wondering, will the box still be effective with our 4G network? Will it still give faster internet speeds on the 4G network that we have? Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
No problem. Well, first of all, guys, you're talking to the king of Kenya. Evans is the man. The one thing I appreciate about Evans, him coming back to the fold, is that anytime Evans is involved, he's helping not just his team but the whole entire team. So when it came to Kenya and we're on other projects, and even other parts of Africa where he had resources in, he was always helping. And so I'm looking forward to working with him again on this project because, like you said, we are at the forefront of getting this into different countries. And Evans and I have been going back and forth, putting things together and getting questions and things answered for Kenya, international and foreign. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that as well. But when you look at the technology, one to kind of give you guys an idea about the boxes, the Wi-Fi boxes and the routers. So when you look at the internet, it's kind of like potato chips. Like you buy a bag of potato chips and you see the price on it, $1.99 for the little bag or $5.99 for the big bag or whatever it is for that bag. And you open that bag and you look down into it and you're looking way down into it till you see a chip. That first chip is halfway down that bag, right? You've basically you're getting half of what you paid for, right? So your internet is the same way. When you actually get on there, you never ever get the speed that you're promised, yet you paid for. You're getting half a bag of internet, basically. And so when you actually have that Wi-Fi router, the Wi-Fi router, it's going to allow you to max out what you purchase. So if you're getting let's say you got a 4G system, you're probably getting 2 to 3 Gs, which means that now you get a chance to get the full 4 Gs. If you got 5, you get the full 5. If you get 6, you get the full 6. It's going to give you 100% of what you actually paid for, okay, with the security, with more coverage, faster downloading speeds, and when it comes to eliminating breaks, lags, and stuff like that, that's what it's going to do for you. So when you upgrade your internet, that whatever you upgrade your internet to, whether it be from 4Gs to 5 or 5Gs to 6, that box is going to make sure it maxes out everything that you pay for. Okay, so now because I do know for a fact we do have 6G technology that we're sending over to different countries based on affordability, and then we have 7G that we'll be sending over as well based on affordability. So people will be able to get options at which system that they want to buy based on what they can afford. So that right there, again, because we want to make sure that the community initiative, we don't want to price people out, but this is not a service like a travel service where we can say, well, we're only going to charge X, Y, and Z amount, to this country based on the fact that it's another country with say pesos versus dollars, or naira versus dollars, because it's equipment, it has to be shipped and stuff like that. The prices have to be the prices, right? But so that part, that's kind of how that works. But we definitely will. I'm glad that you're putting those questions together also for the company, and I'm looking forward to getting that over to Kevin once you get that email to me, so we can really get them on the ground. But guys, when you have people who are in other countries, the company is basically saying, "Hey, look, we'll ship, 10 boxes at a time, or 10 or more boxes to a country." So we won't be doing onesies or twosies because we have boxes that are, those boxes are coming from Asia, then they come to America, and then they're shipped out. So right now, when you have a group that's in a different country, like the goal with Kenya through Evans for me, is creating a group so big, one, that they'll start shipping directly from Asia to Kenya, and then two, second thing that I want them to do is to now at some point in time create a office in Kenya. So once we get a big enough group, we end up having an office, right? And then so now you got a place for them to present, place for them to actually have boxes. So now a person who buys a box can pick it up, and that type of situation. That was the same thing we did with coffee. That's kind of how we built the coffee out. And so when you have people in different countries like Mexico, right? I mean, Brenda have been talking about Mexico. Angel and I, we have people and Earl we have people in South Africa. Again, this is going to be the way that we build things out, okay, internationally, globally. So, but and before let me see, I think that was it. Okay, yeah. All right. So, Jim.
Thank you. How exciting that was to hear from Kenya. I had some questions for you and Mr. Beckett from Wednesday, because I wanted to make sure that I got the same nuggets that he got, because he had a lot of people on the call that were asking some great questions. So the 6,000, I had some notes here about what is it? His goal is 6,000 homes and routers, public meetings about energy consumption. So Earl, I'm asking you what you got from your team's questions there. The hydro plants in Memphis, very good information. Only the 2 levels regarding the tokens, or the density of the system once, like hitting that level of density. So I'm just wondering what Mr. Beckett got from Wednesday, because I want to get the same thing.
Real quick before Aaron does that, speaking of density, when it comes to foreign countries, also, because that's one of the things I was going to touch on, but since I wrap up foreign countries with this one, the actual density in the U.S. versus other countries is going to be different. Like when you look at the density, how many houses you have need in a neighborhood or in a region, the network, create ISP, or be able to have those nodes bounce off one to another where you get the true decentralization and stuff like that. It's 3 to 5% in the US based on the region or based on the neighborhood. In the other countries, it's 1%, right? It may be 1% because or less, you know what I'm saying? But based on all the houses being smaller and closer together. You know what I'm saying? So when you have internet, you have more houses that actually have internet and they're closer together, then those communities network faster. And it's easier for them to become a hotspot, and faster for them to become a hotspot, as opposed to a place where I live, Sabrina lives, or where you live, Jim, in different areas with big homes and stuff like that, and they're spread all over. The houses are spread all out. So 1% would be a good number for density for foreign countries, 3 to 5% in the U.S. based on how spread out the houses are. So, Earl, you want to go and give some feedback and that you got. Give some feedback from, first of all, give some feedback from your guests. I think that'll be more effective out the gate. What did your guest get? One.
Okay.
And two, and then then go ahead and speak to his questions.
Okay. Well, the guest, because of what we received being in Houston, again, I'm like Mr. Bean. I am, Mrs. Bean will co-sign on this. Low tech, I'm talking about like OMG. Let me tell you how low tech, and I'll go into the question. I applied for a job with MCI back in the day, and you had to use a computer to actually do the application. And you tab, when you put your first name in. It took me a half an hour and I couldn't figure out how to get my last name in the next tab for the application. And I didn't apply. When I say low tech, guys, so that's how bad I was. And I know it's funny, but that's the truth. And I can laugh at myself. So it doesn't take the tech to be intelligent about money. Mr. Bean is right. Millions of dollars, brother, you learn with the quickness. So my team, because of what we brought back, we just brought the little we knew, and they understood what all that meant in their world. And they was like, brother, I don't care what I got to push off the table. I'm listening because of our backgrounds and some credibility and some previous work and lives. In industries, we've been successful. So they said, if they didn't lie then, they wouldn't lie now. So they came to the table with an expectation. And these guys dominate. I mean, first grown up from the military, back in the 80s, MCI infrastructure. So they brought the heat in terms of just sitting at the tip of their table, like OMG, just soaking it up. And that just increased the whole, intensity of let's get this thing. So, they're the ones that, and Mr. Bean will tell you about it later about the questions and the paragraphs and the essays that they wrote.
I told Doug I wasn't gonna bring that up no more. You ain't finna have Doug mad at me. Well, I will say this because Mr. Ross said Doug asked for a video to be done, and if he can be so gracious to actually do a video for them to use the market. And he said, sure. He said, okay, just have him send over a couple questions. And so Doug has been grinding Zeta all day from 8 to faint. And when I talked to him, it was like 10:30 at night, my time, his time, and he was done. He didn't have anything in him. And so he was waiting on the questions that come from one of his tech guys. And the tech guy sent the question. He did not open it up. He sent it straight to me. And I opened it up. It was 52 questions on there. I'm like, I'm doing the math. I'm like, man, yeah, Sabrina, there you go, Sabrina, that part. So I'm looking like, no, wait, this. I said, I know, Doug didn't. He couldn't open this up and saw this. So, because I was like, you know what, it would take this man 3 hours to do a video, 3-hour video to answer all these questions, and so. I said, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send it anyway. So he won't be able to say I didn't send it. I sent it. First words came out of his mouth, Mr. Ross was like, who are these people? Hey, I'll leave it at that because anything other than that gets embarrassing. So, but yeah, but these are tech people. These are people who know their stuff. These are people who they geek. I tell y'all, people geek out about this stuff. People geek out about this stuff, like literally. So, nonetheless, Doug woke up next morning like, oh my God, I hope Mr. Bean doesn't send that thing forward, but I did. And so we had our moment. We laughed about it and everything else. But now we have a 7-question video that's going to be happening instead of a 52-question video. Amen. So, all right, but that's kind of how that was. But go ahead, Earl, finish.
Okay. The first position is the humanitarian piece. So the 6,000 goal is to the Mississippi Delta, poor state, poorest community, the Delta, Mound Bayou, oldest Black city in America. And then Memphis, Orange Mound, grew up in that oldest community in the United States. So our goal is to get the boxes there, right, through HBCUs, through churches, through faith-based organizations, and then create the situation to explode, and then to get his validation verification, right? Orange Mound, the Delta has got 7G has got this connectivity. People driving through because of the mobile situation. The whole now 2/3 of the young people that don't have internet access, well, they're low incomes, right? They're socially, economically not in the best situation. So we're picking those out in the country, but also South Africa with Soweto. Okay, so that goes Evan again. So we're picking these areas out because of the humanitarian effect. And obviously the byproduct is all those things. So that's our goal. And our guys are meeting the challenges, and the faith-based organization, especially in Memphis, are connected to so many depressed areas economically, not just nationally, but internationally. And they're buying in like crazy. So that's one. And make sure I stay on point. What was your second question? To make sure, sir.
Sorry, it was about the hydro plants and the 2 levels of the crypto.
Well, and I'm going to be very careful because, you don't want, and this is per Mr. Bean's wisdom, you want to keep that in-house, so to speak, because again, you begin to talk about that, and that brings up other people and industries that you don't want to war with. So I don't know how Mr. Bean wants to address that, but we don't want to pick a fight. We can do everything in-house and not even raise don't shine any light right now. Just do it underneath. That's what we're doing. We're feeding the kids. We're just taking care of the homeless, so to speak, but we are creating what we need to, and it's going to be too late once they recognize. So we don't want them to recognize and even bring that up, so to speak. So I don't know how you want to address that, Mr. Bean, but you know what I'm talking about.
Go ahead, talk about Memphis and what Elon is doing in Memphis, and how it's affecting it, how it will affect it, but how we are counteracting it.
Okay, first in Memphis, he came in set up without any public realizing that he was coming in to set up all these energy situations. You got to have power to do the 7G and the AI technology. And this is going to be the biggest AI plant on the planet. And so you got to have energy, so without any official notice from the public officials, he's in there, and he's got these centers that are burning propane or whatever it takes to run it. And it's affecting the community from a health standpoint, the energy grid, all of this. And it's in the poorest areas. And so these people had they cried out. One young man from Nashville, Democrat situation, came to Memphis, and they had a public forum, and it got ugly, and it was directed toward that whole what Elon Musk is doing. And so power consumption, and then the negative effects on the environment. Well, ours don't have that. Very little energy, to the point that is almost imperceptibly when it comes to a bill standpoint. And then it doesn't have any impact in terms of the environment. Okay, so that is huge, guys. So when you lead with the humanitarian, the environmental impact that is none, and then the energy consumption that you won't even see it on your bill in terms of the increase, and it's volunteer. It has nothing to do with the government at all. It doesn't have anything to do with regulations. It's the individual's choice to have the modem just like it was the day before. And when you put that together, you decentralize that, and you talk about what it will do for the individual home, what it will do for the community as that intensity grows, then it's a win-win-win. It's a win-win, like triple win, like crazy. Now you're addressing the 2/3 population of young people that don't have internet access. Now you're addressing, conversation that really don't happen in Black and brown neighborhoods of the telecom space. No PhD students or people talking about the telecom space. They're not talking about these industries, the 7G, the last mile. They're not having these conversations because they're on radar because they don't have access. So now you're giving hope, and it's all humanitarian. And so you don't have the typical war or fight or network marketing, all these things. You don't have to battle that. And you're in there before they realize that the takeover is done. So, again, millions is an understatement, Mr. Bean. And I know I'm saying to the choir guys, I'm saying it woke me up like, brother, I can't sleep. If there was ever a time, I'm 59 years young. And I'm telling you, you sleep when you're dead. Let's get it. I mean, for real. This is a time to HBCUs, faith-based, get to the markets, get to the people. You got the overwhelming solutions for what's happening in the community, internet speed, all the things we talked about. And guys, just package that together and use Grant Cardone, use Mr. Bean's platform, use all the things that we learned and go in there and kill it. Because that's what we're gonna do. Period.
Yep. I'm just saying, get to going ahead and building it out. It gives you access, access to leadership. Because any market that's building right now, any group that finds themselves out and running right now, you got Mr. Navarro's attention and his resources. You got Mr. Rouse's attention and his resources. You got my attention and my resources. And I'm gonna just tell you, that's how you say the squeaky wheel gets the oil and gets the grease. Be the squeaky wheel right now. Be the squeaky wheel right now. Get as much attention, your way and your team's way as possible, and you'll see, how fast this thing will explode, right in front of you and right for you. And going to even with the two levels. So when you look at the two levels, obviously it's set up to be an affiliate situation, and there's only so many pennies in a dollar. But when you're actually doing it, you get the two levels. You get your money, and then the person above you, they get their money. The person above them get their money, and it stops. So the further down, obviously, it gets in your group. You either get a little bit of money. You go from getting 2 to 1. You go from 1 to getting none. But what happens is, you have the coded bonus. This is why you also want to make sure you get to build a 500 right away. So the lower down in your group the money gets, and further away it get from you it gets, it's okay because you still get paid in the coded bonus, based on it being in your group and based on you being a builder 500 at the lowest level. So obviously the higher, your builder level is, the more money out of that situation you get. And there's a coded bonus video that's put in the group, the 4x4 group. Guys, go check it out. That'll inspire you to make sure you start calling your affiliates and selling them Zeta. And that'll inspire you to go out there and build it right now because, again, we are building it and they are coming. Okay? So appreciate you, Earl. Earl, did you have your hand up to say something or just to answer?
Yeah, I did have. I put it in the chat, and it may be one of offline conversations, which will be, how the project or blockchain or smart contracts, with our, how does in your mind, I know this may be, I don't know, maybe Dale, you could answer on the process of current. Let's say we were in our previous situation. How would we transition that to this decentralized, you own the keys, you own the crypto, you own the data, so that whatever work or profits or whatever were created from whatever strategy, how would you bring that over and own that? Because that is huge if that can be solved. And
Well, that's already in place. Actually, that's already in place. Actually, they have an app and a wallet. Right now they're testing it out. So we're looking at about 2 weeks for everything to be finished. So you'll be able to get your wallet, and you'll be able to see the tokens download in your wallet. So then just imagine opening up your wallet, you're seeing 50,000 tokens in there, and then imagine now you got your box. And you open up your wallet every day, you're seeing tokens being mined. Your amount of tokens every day. So again, that's happening, right? That's almost done. Like I said, we're about 2 minutes away from that. We're a sneeze away from that. So again, everything is like, remember, this is all about trust. It's one of those things where you say, hey, look, we gotta trust them to do their part, and they gotta trust us to do ours. And for us, our part is selling the boxes, moving the units, right? Getting the units for ourselves, but also getting them for the masses. And this is where it happens. I'm just telling you, this is the people who make the fortunes are the people who move in moments like this. Okay. When you look at what Simon Sinek talks about, the very, very first, the initiators, the people who go out there and take the opportunity and run the first 12%. The first 3%, 12%, whatever that number is, the very first people who grab it before you can see a whole lot of anything at all, before you can see a whole lot of results, proof, the people who grab it and run with it and take and take that thing and tell everybody about it, those are the people who make the most money. Okay? Because it's going in 5 years from now, guess what? They'll still be selling Zeta. Okay. 10 years from now, they'll still be selling Zeta. Right. But when you look at the coins, and you look at the tokens are not going to be worth the same. Like we look at Bitcoin right now. Can you still buy Bitcoin right now? Yeah. Can you make money off Bitcoin right now? Yeah, you can. Can you make money off of Bitcoin, more money off Bitcoin the way you did when it was 10 cents, or $10 or $100? No, you can't. And so that's the thing. Right now, while you have Bitcoin tokens basically before they split. That's and you make them split by selling the boxes. I mean, Dale, remember we had this conversation when I first met you, when we got down to your goals and dreams, we talked about you owning what? A refinery, right? And then we had a conversation, about your leadership and everything, and how people in the refinery industry are seeing you right now. And you talked to me, you had that conversation about what should you do and how should you attack it. Can you talk to that conversation and what I told you about, what's about to happen to you at that moment before it actually happened to you and what happened? Because I want to make sure they understand what I'm talking about real time.
So we're talking about the refineries, right?
Yes, sir. When you got that offer.
Yeah. So, when I was talking to Mr. Bean about this, look, it's about, we say this a lot, but think and grow rich. I mean, you have to be in your mind there. You have to be already there, because the steps is just execution. That's all it is, man. You just executing the play. It's like football, man. You practice, you get on in the championship game, and look, we execute the play. There's nobody nervous. There's nobody nothing. We're just executing the play. And so when I was talking about Mr. Bean and owning a refinery, what I wind up doing is running 4 refineries, right? Because you have your mind has to be bigger than where you at. You have to think bigger. And Mr. Bean, he guided me through this step by step. And I'll never forget, man, when I called you up about that and it happened. It just happens in a different way. It don't happen the way you think it's going to happen, right? But I'm going to tell you, this company's not called Foresight for no reason whatsoever. It's the most appropriate name for a company I ever heard in my life is Foresight, because Mr. Bean, through his leadership and his belief. Y'all, look, if any of y'all around for the last 3 years, Mr. Bean could have just packed it up, retired, and not done a thing. But his belief in people, his belief in the system, his belief in himself and his family, and his belief in taking and developing people. See, a lot of times we take this for granted, but I'm so appreciative for him always being there. How many people in your life has always been there? I've been with Mr. Bean for 15 years. He has always been there. Always. Every single time. I can't even say that about my daddy, and I love my daddy. I love my daddy dearly. But I can't say that about my daddy. Okay? He hasn't been there. But Mr. Bean, for 15 years, him and Mrs. Bean have always been there. So when we had this conversation, because I had it on my 100 list, Mr. Bean, remember? I wanted a refinery, right? Mr. Bean, he didn't say, hey, Boudreaux, that's out of the realm, or hey, you can't do that, or look where you are, you're never going to get there. No. We talked about expanding my mind and expanding my skill level so I can be there. And I wound up, I mean, I'll never forget, I called him up. I was crying that night. I called the man up crying because that was something in my life that I thought, when I first put it down on a piece of paper, I was like, man, I don't know. That's big on a refinery. But when I got to being a part of running 4 refineries, look, I called Mr. Bean and I was crying. I mean, I was crying profusely because that was something in my heart. And he helped me get there. Now, he don't say he helps. He says he just gives you the tools and you go do it. But it's way more than that. And so when he's talking about this Zeta box, because we had this same conversation this week, because I'm going to a convention this week. And him and we talked about where we need to put this in our brains, in our hearts, in our souls. And that's exactly what he's saying right now. So, you know, Zeta might not be for you, but it might be for the 100 people you know. You don't know that until you go talk to them. You don't have to know all the bandwidth and all this other stuff. As a matter of fact, it's better that you don't. Let them go look it up. Let them ask the people that know. I mean, sometimes I get my own way because, you know, I know all this technical stuff. And you know what? I threw all that out the window. And just like Mr. Earl Beckett just said, look, it's about the mission. It's about the last mile because I live in the last mile. Right now, as a matter of fact, when Mr. Bean was on the leadership call and he's talking about his internet going out, my internet went out. It went out. It went out at the exact time that he's talking about his internet and his kids, and my internet went out. I had to hurry up and get on the phone, and then I had to switch it back and forth. I mean, it was crazy. But if you think that, I mean, I love Mr. Earl Beckett's mission, man. I love it. I love it, man, because he's thinking way bigger than just a little box sitting in somebody's business. And Mr. Bean, that's what he does. He makes you think like that, and then you go do it, and then you turn around and go, wow, man, I can't believe I just did that. What's next? Then you go, what's next? Yep. Right? And I don't know if that's the answer you was looking for, Mr. Bean, but
you had a lot of it. Man, think about this way. I'm gonna ask you a question, because when we were talking about it, because you got a lot of that in it. The 2 or 3 things that you're missing out of it that I wanted to come out is this: when we talked about the reflection part of it. Then I'm sitting, because I'm at the chicken house. I'm sitting in the car. I'm pulling up at. I still remember exactly where I'm at. Sitting in the parking lot of Timmy Chan's Chicken. I was at my brother's neighborhood, and I'm getting ready to go in. I get a phone call from there. I'm sitting in the car, and he like he said, he's like between conversations, he was crying. Like I said, he had a moment. So he's I'm here. These people offer me all this money, and it's like they've offered me stock, they've offered me signing bonus, relocation bonus. I get a chance to run two or more refineries, and so I just asked him. I said, "So Dale, let me ask you a question. What was your goal?" He said, "Was all on the refinery." I said, "Well, if your goal was, remember, your goal was all on the refinery. If they're giving you stock, right? What determines the value of the stock?" I said, "What I do when I get there." I said, "Exactly.
Right.
You get to increase the stock value, right? You got the signing bonus, you got the relocation bonus. That's cool, but you know, when he went in there, when we had that conversation, leadership, overall, it raised the entire value of the whole entire company, right? And his stock went through the roof based on his performance, right? He did more than what they hired him for, right? The best decision they ever made in their life, but also the best understanding he ever had in his. Like he literally built himself up to where he was able to go out there and create value and increase the value of a whole entire company's portfolio. And he made a ton of money on that stock. And I say he made it because he created it. And when you look at these tokens, that's stock. Right?
Yep.
You get a chance to create and increase the value of the stock. You're the people who drive it. If the stock ain't worth the dime, okay, it's because you didn't do anything. If you ain't sell any boxes, you ain't create any stories, right? You didn't hit any countries, you didn't, whatever it is, you didn't hit your neighborhood, right? You didn't say the value of this token is going to do, it's going to be that where it goes is going to be in direct proportion to where we take it. Okay. And so this ain't coffee that you can just sell and make some money and get some residual income. This is value that you get to control. And this is a CEO talk I'm having with you guys right now. CEOs sit in boardrooms all day, every day, thinking about how to increase the value of their stock, how to make it split. If you're not thinking like that, I'm not saying you're thinking wrong. I'm just saying you're not thinking like a CEO. If you're not thinking like that, you're not thinking wrong. You're thinking like an employee. You're not thinking like a business owner. If you're not thinking like that, you're not thinking wrong. You're thinking for somebody who's wanting to get paid today as opposed to being free tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So your thoughts, remember, we talk about congruency, when it comes to thought processes and patterns. Extremely wealthy people don't think like average everyday people and vice versa. That's why they don't, or they're not in the same rooms. Right now, people who think like what I'm talking about right now, they pay to be in specific rooms. There's a difference. They don't just wind up like this is a room that you don't have to pay in, so you don't take it seriously. Like they have rooms where people are in where if you are actually late, they charge you $100 for every minute that you're late. Based on everybody else's time in that room is extremely valuable. And so you're wasting everybody else's time. And that $100 again, people are not late, they're early. We're talking about some of the wealthiest people in the world don't want to pay $100 a minute and they can afford it. But again, it's just discipline. It's just a thought process. It's just how people move and how people, how they think, their thought process and how they're conditioned to think. So I'm telling you, you're in the right place at the right time. You just better get it together where you're the right person making the right decisions because somebody's making the right decisions. I promise you. And they're making the right decision for them. And your decision is the right decision. Just make sure that you don't complain about the results of this decision later on in life. If you're just trying to pay some bills, that's fine. Knock yourself out. And you're not right or wrong about paying bills and just selling it. You're not. But if that's how you're thinking right now, you don't get to complain about tomorrow when other people are making millions of dollars and you're not. You're making employee-based decisions, right? And consumer-based decisions versus CEO-based decisions. I know for a fact that's why this tour is everything to me. Because this is the foundation of me increasing the value of the tokens. I wish I could speak Spanish fluently because I would have a tour in Latin America right now. All right. And so at some point in time, once we get this thing off these grounds, you will see me internationally traveling because it's my job to increase the value of the token. You should have that same responsibility as a CEO, as a shareholder in this company. Your job is to increase the value of the token internationally and domestic, in your neighborhood, in your city, in your state, in your country, and worldwide. Like Brenda said, she's on board with that. International, let's go. Right now, we need to be building up these neighborhoods, and you got to get conditioned. So, because if you're building up your neighborhoods and you're building up your groups and you're building up your cities, you're building up your markets, then you can definitely take it out and build it and help us build out these countries. You know exactly what to do, even if you have to do it in a different language. Because for me, it's not going to stop me because I don't speak Spanish. Brenda can translate. You know, we can get to another country with no problem. I just got to learn this information and maximize what I need to learn if I'm going to be moving around. But it's not if the token value increases, it's when it increases, in my personal opinion and my personal abilities. Dale made that stock of that company go up. I remember when he cashed out. Man, he's talking about the numbers and the commas and the cash out. But he don't cash out, right? If he didn't level up prior to that. Matter of fact, if he didn't level up prior to that, he wouldn't even had the opportunity. They wouldn't even called him. And the one thing that all those people always asked him, you know, in all those companies were about the way he talked, the way he spoke, him having a leadership coach, a mentor coach. He always asked, "You don't have a mentor?" Right? That's what I'm talking about. This is the thing that network marketing, when it's done right, gives you. It gave it to me. You know what I'm saying? And it gave it to Dale, and it gave it to a lot of people who are owning companies all around the world right now, and CEO, from a CEO perspective, in the company or just actually owning a company, period. So this is a window right now, time where you can take the stock that you have, and so you bought your box, you got 50,000 coins. What do you want that 50,000 coins to represent? $5,000, $50,000, $500,000, $5 million. Goes to $100 a coin, that's $5 million. Okay, so you get to determine the value of these tokens, period. Point blank. That's why I say get on social media right now, get in your neighborhoods, knock your doors, and do whatever you got to do. Call your affiliates, whatever you got to do right now. Just do everything you can do, and then do some more. That's just the CEO mindset. That's the Warren Buffett mindset. That's the all these billionaires and people who are out there making things happen, while everybody else is like Elon Musk, for all the damage he's about to do, to Memphis when it comes to draining the grid, but he's making moves. He's not waiting for anybody to give him permission. He'll ask for forgiveness, right? And so you have to move, guys, period. Waiters become waiters. Movers become shakers. Okay. And so let's get it. But Earl, and do you have somebody else, and then Carla, or
No, that was it. That was it.
Okay. All right, Carla. And then we'll wrap it up. We'll put a button on it. You take us home.
Quick question. So, as we know, the crypto space is not forgiving, right? So you have to have your keywords and your passwords and all that type of thing. As we develop with these meta boxes, is it the same type of process where you have to have your keyword, your 12 words and all that type of thing? Or is it just plug and play? That was just a quick question quick technical question I wanted to ask.
Well, wallets right now, they're going to give us all of the ins and outs of it once they launch it, but it's a blockchain wallet. So,
okay.
But they're going to be some protocol that you want to follow, and you make sure you protect that protocol and put stuff in safe boxes and lock boxes in different places all over the world, because you don't want to mess that up. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that you don't want to do. Take what you learned and what you learned, because some people had good lessons, some people had hard lessons. And so, but it's a lesson nonetheless. You know how important it was to protect it then. It's even more important for you to protect it now, because it's your token, not just a token. So be prepared.
Thank you. I was talking
ma'am.
about for like the data stuff is more so than the tokenization stuff.
Oh yeah, that would be a Kevin Ross conversation right there. So he's going to be, so when it comes to your data, the data stuff, that I'll let him talk about that at a later date. I'm not there yet.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Yeah. I ain't there yet. I might sound like it, but no, I'm good. I'm just piecing it together. I'm just, it's the information is coming. I know enough to sound smart. So, but yeah, no, Mr. Ross, you're gonna get all of that good stuff over time and good. When we're actually in Maryland, I'm counting on you guys, well, in that Maryland DMV area, I'm counting on you guys who are out there to have intelligent questions like that he's going to be able to answer after he presents the Zeta initiative and opportunity. All right. All right, guys. Well, it's a Saturday morning. We already know what it is. Everybody's at home where they can pick up their phone. And so I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to get off of here and go out here and increase the value of your tokens. And if you don't have your box, get it. Don't wait on it. As a matter of fact, for those of you who understand what's going on, and for those of you who have houses like Dale's, it's 7,000 square foot homes and 8,000 square foot homes, you might want to get you 2 boxes because those boxes cover about 5,000 square feet. We have 2 in our home, one upstairs on Kim's wing and one downstairs over here on mine. I want to make sure everything is covered. But also, again, for some of you who move around and who do know people who own small businesses and people who own big houses that you are cool with, you might want to get you a box or 2, or 3 or 4, so you can get those boxes into those people's homes and businesses and allow them to actually utilize them for a little bit, 3 days, 7 days, whatever it is, so they can get a chance to see what it feels like to actually have that experience and basically get the boxes from you. Catch your social media people who are in these passive platforms, people who are in the crypto space, blockchain space. Do not forget about these people because they have databases of people who they connect with in that arena globally. You're talking about connecting with the proper people who can take you globally. Passive platform people who have done with crypto, they know this, they understand this, and they'll come in and they might not buy the boxes for the same reason we buying them, but they're buying them and they're buying them more. They're not buying one. Ken Francis didn't buy 1 box, right? CPMD, Crypto Pays Me Daily, didn't buy 1 box. These guys are buying multiple boxes because they know better. They understand value. Doug didn't buy, he bought 20 boxes for a reason, right? I'm just telling you, there are people who are buying multiple boxes for a reason. 50,000 tokens is one thing, but having 100, 200, whatever it is a whole entirely different thing. So, but having a plan when you buy those boxes, not just for the tokens, is the most important thing. How are you going to utilize it? So I have 2 or 3. I have 2 sisters and a brother. My brother, I'm not buying him a box. he's not box worthy. But my sisters, both of them work from home, and so I'm not going to explain cryptocurrency and none of that stuff to them. I'm just going to buy the box, put it in your house because both of them work from home. I know it'll continue to, and both of them have kids that are on social media. And so I'm going to buy a box for each one of their houses and put them in those houses and make sure that they're mining and make sure they're using that. So, and Kim is basically doing the same thing. She's got people in her family who she's going to buy boxes for and put them in their houses that work from home and that do things like that. So that's kind of our plan. And have another box or 2 just to, again, stand out for a little bit, right? So that's kind of our plan. But either way, guys, if you got ideas, you want to bounce them off to me, you know how to find me at. Send me a message, a voice clip or something on WhatsApp, and I'll respond to you. But other than that, y'all have the tour, map. Let's fill up these markets with people, get guests out there, get people in those seats. Make sure we have standing room only in every event. Make sure that Bill knows that we are here to build and they really don't know who they have their hands on. Let's go out here, stand proud and stand on business. Let's go out here and make things happen. Sabrina, I see the hand up.
Yes, I had one question. Someone texted me about the shipping of the boxes. So I wanted to make sure everybody understood what that meant. The fact that they did put in their order and when should they expect their boxes?
Well, right now, the first 1,000 boxes should be here. They should be here within the next 2 weeks, if not sooner. And those anybody, and that's international and domestic, right? Who's bought a box already, and they're going to get those boxes shipped out. So for Evans and Kenya, for people who are in Colombia, Dominican Republic, and Mexico right now who bought boxes already, Canada who's bought boxes already, all of those boxes will be shipped out because they're a part of the first order. All those boxes will start being shipped out when they get to America in about a week to 2 weeks. You know, once they get here, then they'll ship them to the locations.
Okay.
But you don't want to miss the first batch. Get yours now because you don't want to be waiting. I promise you that's painful. That would be extremely painful. Having a box in your market, that's a whole entirely different thing too. So you can now, when you're doing presentations, you can show people your box. So, all right, guys, y'all know what, like I said, if y'all need me, y'all know where to find me. We'll talk soon. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Bean.
Thank you, Mr. Bean.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you
Bean.
later, baby. Let's go.
Thank you, Mr. Bean.
Let's go. Thank you, Mr. Bean.
Let's
Yes,
build.
ma'am. Let's go. Let's go.